away. The Supreme Court will hear a new challenge to affirmative action today. A student says she didn't get into the University of Texas because she's white. All rise. Judge Andrew Napolitano is here. These are the cases that capture the public's imagination.
Yes, they are. And I'll tell you a couple things that are very unusual about this. The Supreme Court recently ruled in affirmative action cases involving colleges, and in this case, college and a law school owned by a state. In a case in 2003 involving the University of Michigan, which is owned by the state of Michigan. And in a weird, I say that charitably, opinion by Justice O'Connor, I'll tell you why weird in a second, the court ruled that a state may take race into account as long as it is just one of other factors when it is deciding on whether or not the whole individual is worthy of admission. What's weird, excuse me, about this is the opinion is only the law for 25 years. 25 years? What kind of sense does that make? Justice O'Connor surmised that in 25 years, racial issues would not be contentious in the United States of America. And so the 2003 opinion only lasts until 2028. Okay. Yeah. The court has changed personnel a little bit since then. John Roberts has become the Chief Justice. Justice O'Connor was replaced by Justice Alito. Justices Kagan and Sotomayor have joined the court. And now this court has decided it wants to review the exact same issue in nearly the exact same factual context. Charles, I tell you, this is almost unprecedented in American history, that the court would hear a case that could potentially reverse something it did just 8 years ago. So the speculation is that they're going to change the law to require all governments in the United States of America to be colorblind always.
Let me get this straight. You're saying the Supreme Court in 2003 said no to racial quotas, but yes to diversity. And the university is saying, look, this is going to prepare our students to be better business leaders if they have a more diverse, holistic experience.
That is the university's argument. I could not have articulated it better. In fact, you articulated it better than I did. The university saying it's to the betterment of the educational experience of the student body that it have racial minorities there, even to the exclusion of the whites. The plaintiff is saying, you can't exclude me because of an immutable characteristic of birth. You can't exclude me because of my age. You can't exclude me because of my gender. You shouldn't be able to exclude me because of the color of my skin.
So that is a racial quota that the Supreme Court...
It's reverse racial discrimination is what we're talking about.
Yes.
And instead of going to college on pure merit with respect to how hard you've worked, what kind of grades you've attained, what your ambitions and determination are, how do you see it playing out?
Well, you know, there's a lot of speculation that the Chief Justice of the United States of America, John Roberts, is
especially after the Obamacare thing,
redeem himself with certain traditionalists. I point to our good friend and colleague because of his estrangement with them as a result of the Obamacare decision. I'm not suggesting that the Chief Justice would mentally trade off votes, but it is very unusual that the court would take this case just 8 years after the Michigan case. Now, they took it before he voted in the Obamacare case, so I don't think he could have contemplated it at the time they took it. But he's certainly a human being and probably is contemplating it now.
And obviously this will have major implications for businesses throughout this country.
You know, we thought the Michigan case would decide this once and for all. Here we are 8 years later revisiting it again. So I don't know if this is going to decide it once and for all. But it will give indicators as to what businesses can do, yes, especially businesses in which the government has invested, because that makes them subject to the restraints imposed on the government.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Judge, thank you.